Good evening, everybody. Jewel here with your tropical update for this evening, Wednesday, the 19th of August, 2020. Now we got our three systems going on, right? Of course, right in here, we have Invest 98. If you look, it still doesn't have any vorticity to it at all. It is a tropical wave. All of these, as a matter of fact, are still just tropical waves. That's why they're called Invest. Invest 97L, Invest 98L. And Invest, what it really means is investigation. And the National Hurricane Center uses this to investigate, that's why they call it this, an interest that is designated in the tropics, and it's a disturbed weather system. So it has nothing to do with if it's going to intensify or the tracks or anything else. Once they make these systems of investigation visible, then they make spaghetti plots. And I'm going to take you over to the National Hurricane Center and NOAA Weather Radio's plots. And I'm going to show you those in just a second. Now, when it comes to Invest 90L1 or disturbance number 1, it is a tropical wave, as you can see. I think probably it's going just to remain a wave until it gets somewhere right around here in this area. Let me do that a little better for you right quick. Let me put it out like this, somewhere right around in here. It could turn into a tropical depression when it gets right over in this area. From there, will it strengthen or not? Who knows? We got to wait and see. We do not know where any of these are going now. I'm just going to point a few things out to you and tell you and show you as best as I understand what these things might do in the future. Then we have Invest 98L. Now this one, folks, it's trying really hard to get some action going on here. Hadn't quite made it yet, but it really is trying hard. Now, whenever this finally decides to do what it's going to do, and by the way, this right here, when it may turn into a tropical depression, probably that's going to be around Tuesday, say around Tuesday night, somewhere in that area. That's when you can look for this system right here, Invest 97L, to probably strengthen a little bit. This one, it's going to hit some bumps in the road, and it's not going to hit some bumps in the road. Looking like it's going to go right up in this area, really close down in here. Come up, go over, and who knows what it's going to do from there. It may not. Now, the latest one, disturbance number 3, this is the biggest one of all of them. All of them, okay? So, we'll check in with the National Hurricane Center and see what they're saying about these now before we go on to check out some other things. So, let's start with disturbance number 1, 97L. It's looking like these showers and thunderstorms have become more concentrated today in the association with a tropical wave, like I told you, currently located over the central Caribbean Sea. Now, some gradual development of this system is possible over the next day or so, while it moves westward at about 15-20 miles per hour across the central Caribbean Sea. Now, after that time, the wave is forecast to move more slowly west-northwestward. That's what's going to give it its little power move there to maybe form into a tropical depression. And it's likely to form later this week when the system reaches the northwestern Caribbean Sea. 2 days, 60% chance. 5 days, 80% chance. Now, as we come over to disturbance number 2, 98L, it's an elongated area of low pressure. You can see by the picture, a satellite picture a while ago, it's kind of stretched out. It's about 1,000 miles east of the Windward Islands, and it continues to produce a concentrated area of showers and thunderstorms, although it's looking like, let's get this off of here right quick, sorry folks, although it's looking like, when we get it up here, that all of the recent satellite diverted wind data is indicating that the low is not well defined, as we saw. It's trying, it just hasn't made it. Now, the environmental conditions are conducive for further development, and a tropical depression is expected to form during the next day or two, while the system moves generally west-northwestward, 15 to 20 miles per hour across the central and western portions of the tropical Atlantic. Now, all interest in the Lesser Antilles should monitor the progress of this system. 2 days and 5 days, 90% chance it's going to form, folks. So if you're in the Lesser Antilles, please keep up with this. Everybody keep your eyes on what's going on. The tropics, it's like a little wave train going on right now. Now, disturbance 3, we saw what it looked like. It was kind of big there. And everybody's making videos, I see, at this time. It's like, it's a large area of showers and thunderstorms. It's over Guinea and Sierra Leone, Africa. Now, it's associated with a vigorous tropical wave, as they all are. They're tropical waves right now. That's all they are. The environmental conditions are expected to be conducive for some development, though, of this system while the wave enters the extreme eastern Atlantic by Friday. By early next week, looks like the forecast is going to be less favorable for tropical cyclone formation, while it moves west-northwestward around 15 to 20 miles per hour toward the central tropical Atlantic. 2 days, 0. 5 days, 30%. It's a fairly large wave coming off. We're going to keep our eyes on it. I want to remind everyone that as of today, we have 103 days of hurricane season left. Can you believe it, folks? We're not to August 20th, but we're close to it right here. And we've already had so many storms already. 2 hurricanes. We've had like 12 tropical storms. It's unreal. By September 10th, that's its peak. So you can see we got a really good chance of more popping off as the days go by. This is a quick look at the GEFS probabilities of genesis happening with these storms, where they may go. You can see right in here, looking like it's going to go over this portion of Mexico right here, then up in the Gulf. After that, who knows? We got to wait and see what happens. We have to wait and see what happens. This is 97L right in here. 98L. It looks like it's going to go right up this area around the Bahamas, around Florida. This one, as you can see, is going to go up further like this. It's what it's looking like at the moment. It's right here now, coming off, but we're going to have to wait and see. I still have some thoughts about the third disturbance I'm not too fond of. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Now, what everybody wants to know, where's it going? Is it coming to my house? I have no idea. I'm not even going to pretend I do, because these things can change in the blink of an eye. You have to remember they can always change. Speed up, slow down, intensify, disintegrate. All I'm going to do is show you what it's looking like now. Now, these are the maps, the spaghetti models for tracking from the National Hurricane Center and NOAA. Now, as you can see, we're going to start off right here. Let's move this map up a little bit if we can get it to go up a little bit here. Here it is right here, and this is Invest 97L, okay? You know how I like the TVCA and the TVCN model, and this is what they're using. See, this isn't everywhere, folks, alright? You have to kind of hunt and peck for it, but they have it looking like more than likely it's going to go out this way right in here. Go out right in this way here. Now, this is only one model. This is only one model. The other models kind of go off up in this area and head towards this area up in here. Doesn't mean it's going to happen right now. And this is the early cycle guidance. I'm going to show you the ladder guidance that they think it might look like later on also. Now when we come to 97L, you can see it's still out here in the ocean, well out in the ocean. But the British Virgin Islands, also northern sections of Puerto Rico, portions of the Dominican Republic, you could get something out of this, I think. This is looking pretty much like a track it may be taking, indeed. And it stops right up here. See, they don't go way, way, way out for Florida or this or that. But it looks like it is going to go up in this area. It may track a little bit more, jog some to the east and come up this way. Or this might be a good track. It could track a little bit westerly also. This is why we have to wait. This is what time tells us to do. So let's click over and we're going to go to the late cycle. And it should track up a little bit further up in time. On this map, what we're going to get, see the HWRF map has it coming up in that Florida Panhandle, like I talked about earlier, days and days ago. Don't mean it's going to happen. Right in this area here, as you can see. This is the lake guidance area here. We have two coming. I do think it looks like it might come over this way. It's a big pop-up question, folks. If it does, it'll track a little further this way. We're just going to have to wait and see. And when it comes to 98L, we have all of these maps again right here. Here's the HWRF. It looks like the Turks and the Caicos Islands. You guys, you need to be aware. You've got most of the spaghetti models over here where you are also, as it comes up. And usually this gives us some wind speeds, but I haven't been able to get that yet. I don't know why. Let me see if I can turn something else on right quick. And it works a little better. Let's move down here. Let's see if we can get something coming up. Yeah, here we go. That was my fault, I think. We'll see. No, it's still not working. There it is. If it will stay. If it will stay. All right. This is at 120 hours for 97L. Looking like the wind is 32 knots. 32 knots, okay? So it may be a tropical storm. We'll have to wait and see if it reaches that high. This isn't a tropical storm yet, but this is what it's looking like in the long-range tracks that they put out for this area right in here. Now, we do have some more. This has it 32 knots also, so they're beginning to agree. That's a very good sign for us. They're beginning to agree. When we move over, this one doesn't have it. Some are tracking only, some are for intensity. So, let's look what's going on as we move up over in this area. And I've got this big enough that you guys on all the islands can see. Looks like the British Virgin Islands up in this area. Like I say, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, you guys need to keep your eyes open. If it does go over Cuba, that will weaken it a lot, even if it goes over portions of the Dominican Republic. But it's looking like most of the models together have it just north of that area. Coming up this way here. Let's see if we can get the map to come down just a little bit. You can see most of the models are going up to the Bahamas. And probably in a day or so, you will see it coming up to Florida. Now, it could go two ways, okay? It could go this way out in the Gulf, or it could go this way up Florida, or it could ride the coastline up. There's all kind of ways it can go. That's why we got to wait till it turns into something and gets closer before we actually know anything about what's going on. When we look right up here, this is just a track name, as you can see. I'm trying to see if we can get a wind speed out of any of these for you guys. But no, these are all tracking. They're not going to give us a wind speed on any. Maybe we can get one down here. Nope. These are all tracking models. They're not even forecasting anything. But I can tell you one thing. The different colors when they break up in the tracks means intensification. Different intensification. And as you can see, these tracks have different ideas of what's going on. But I wanted to show you this to give you an idea so you would know what was going on with the spaghetti models from the National Hurricane Center and NOAA Weather. Now we got to check out the Eastern Pacific. Before we get into this, I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you who have subscribed to me. I appreciate it so very much. And if you haven't subscribed and you're into daily forecasts, severe weather forecasts, watches, warnings, and all tropical weather of concern, please click subscribe, click the bell, and make sure that you've got a check mark or a dot in all to ensure you get all my latest weather videos. Now, Geneva was a big bad Category 4 yesterday, earlier a Category 3, and now I believe she is a Category 1. So that's good news. Now, the winds are 90 miles per hour, the pressure is 974 millibars. If you're tracking 21.4 north, 110.1 west, it's moving, it's creeping, folks, north-northwest at 8 miles per hour. Then we have disturbance number 1. It's just a low pressure. It is expected to form later this week, currently several hundred miles southwest of the southwestern coast of Mexico. Now, conditions appear favorable for some slow development of this system, and a tropical depression could form this weekend or early next week while it moves just a little. 0 in 2 days and 50% in 5 days of it forming. This is the tracking map for Genevieve. Folks, if you are on the very tip of the Baja Peninsula here, this is a hurricane warning. Yes, it's not going to make a direct hit. Still a very powerful storm making large surf waves. And some of this wind's going to be over in your area too. This is a hurricane warning. This is a tropical storm watch where you see the yellow and where you see the blue right around the western section of the coastline. This is a tropical storm warning. Only watch area is this one little place of yellow. So please take this into consideration and stay safe, my friends. This is what it's looking like right now, my friends. We've just got to keep our eyes on it. Just remember, 97L, it's going to go up in the Gulf at some point. Could come up this way, could come up this way, could come up this way, might even go down this way before it's all over. So everyone in these areas around the Gulf Coast line from Texas, Louisiana, all the way to the Florida Panhandle, Alabama Panhandle, and Mississippi, the Mississippi area here, right here. You need to be aware of what's going on. It could do anything. It could go in any of these places. I do think by Tuesday, right up in this area, a tropical depression will finally form for this area. Now, when we come to 98L, everybody up in the Virgin Islands areas here around Puerto Rico, parts of the Dominican Republic, moving up into the Bahamas and up into Florida. Whether it goes straight up, whether it comes in, whether it rides the coastline. Everybody, we all need to be aware of what's happening with this storm in these areas. It could go out in the Gulf. As you see, I've got it here. We're going to have to watch it. And when it comes to disturbance number 3, it's a big disturbance. It's much bigger than either of these two. I'm going to watch it. They say it's not going to do anything. I hope they're right. I'm just going to keep my eyes on it and see what happens. And that's a check of the tropical update as of now. Everybody have a good evening, a safe evening, a blessed evening. I thank you for everything you do for me, and I love each and every one of you. May each of you have much peace, love, and kindness in your lives. And please share this information with your family, your friends, and on your social media to help me keep people informed and aware of what's going on, so none of these things just sneak up on them, and help me keep them safe. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching.